Alright, everything's in order. Greetings, YouTube! Today, we're doing more Hunger Games. But instead of the Smash Bros. Versus non-Smash Bros. Steam I did last time, I did swords, lances, axes, and bows? This is a weapons theming. I was playing Fire Emblem when I said swords, lances, and axes. There's a lot of characters for each of those type of weapons. So, let's do a video based, let's do a Hunger Games based on that. And I didn't know that many lances or axe users, so I threw in bow users as well. For our swordies, I chose Link, Cloud, Ellawood, Dark Pit, Shulk, Goro Akechi, Dante, Virgil, Iron Valiant, Corrin, Kratos, and Zero. These guys are iconic sword users, and Iron Valiant is just funny. It's a mixture between Gallade and Gardevoir, and Gallade is pretty much a sword user, so I said Iron Valiant works for this. I chose Dark Pit for this one, as represented for the Blade class in Uprising. And Dante may be seen using guns for a lot of things, but he is really mainly a sword user. For the lances, I chose Kanemata, Sir Arthur, the Trailblazer, Hinoka, Mipha, Bandana Waddle-Dee, Mozu, Dimitri, Undyne, Waterblight Ganon, Escavalier, and Dunkung. Now, these people are traditionally spear users or lance users. Trailblazer in her base form uses a bat, but in her fire form, she uses a lance. Escavalier is literally just a knight, so lances. And Mozu, as before any Fire Emblem play, like any Fire Emblem fan gets mad at me, Mozu's starting class is Villager, which uses lances, and that's a reference. And I did not realize I can get gifts to work for these, so yeah, that's all I have undone. For axes, we have Hector, Edelgard, Camilla, Ike, Pyro, Clementine, Labrys, Demoman, Simon, Richter, Nia, and Thor. At this point, I was starting to run out of characters I could think of. I kind of just looked up axe users, and it said Clementine was one of them, along with Nia, so I said, alrighty. Pyro, Demo, axes are in their kit, and according to Fire Emblem, a hammer is considered an axe, so the store. And Ike, despite being traditionally seen using swords, he does use axes in his games. So I thought that was a good thing to reference. And for our bow users, we have March 7th, Pit, who will represent bows, Takumi, Yukari, Ganyu, Rivali, Green Arrow, Hawkeye, Linkle, Ellie, Claude, and Kale. Green Arrow, Hawkeye, running out of ideas, just tossed in two really famous archers. And, well, let's begin with this Hunger Games. As the tribute stands on their podiums, the horn sounds. Dark Pit grabs a backpack and retreats. Kale runs away from the cornucopia. I don't play Genshin, and I'm not sure this is in her character. The reason that she's here is I know her voice actor is very fucking hilarious when doing stuff with other creators. So, Oliver stabs Clint with a tree branch. They are kind of the same person to a degree. Just one's DC, one's Marvel, so that makes sense. Mipha runs away from the cornucopia, and also bow-on-bow action. Ellie runs away from the cornucopia. Claude runs away from the cornucopia. Ike grabs a backpack and retreats. Mozu, Corrin, and Thor working together to get as many supplies as possible. Undyne grabs a shield leaning on the cornucopia. Nia grabs a jar of fishing bait while Ken gets fishing gear. Demo grabs a sword. That is also something that in his possession, so it makes sense. Clem runs away from the cornucopia. Trailblazer clutches a first aid kit and runs away. Link snatches a bottle of alcohol and a rag. Cloud and Kratos fights for a bag. Kratos gives up and retreats. Dong Hung kills Iron Valiant with his own weapon. Yukari and Pit fight for a bag. Yukari gives up and retreats. Hector and Takumi both run away from the cornucopia, along with Eliwood. Rivali finds a bag full of explosives. Virgil runs away from the cornucopia, along with Escavalier, who just kind of floats away. Arthur, who is also running away from the cornucopia. People like running away. Edelgard grabs a backpack, not realizing it's empty. Ganyu throws a knife into Waddle Dee's chest. I don't know where his chest would be, but Richter catches Mark 7th off guard and kills her. Okay. People are kind of dropping like flies early on. Damn. Zero grabs a backpack, not realizing it's empty. Akechi grabs a jar of fishing bait while Simon gets fishing gear. Pyro takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Camille and Dante fight for a bag. Dante gives up and retreats. Hinoka pushes Waterblight Ganon off a cliff during a knife fight. Shulk retrieves a trident from inside the cornucopia. Winkle finds a canteen full of water. Liberus finds a bow, some arrows, and a quiver. Surprising how the axe user gets that, but okay. And Dimitri can't handle the circumstances and commits suicide. Not even 7 minutes in and someone already committed it. Why'd it have to be the boy? Damn. I was excited for him to go ham. Like, damn. Escavalier shoots an arrow into Outlabrus, but misses and kills Link instead. God damn. Ike searches for firewood. He's a melee man. He could just cut that shit down. Camilla scares Claude off. Simon picks flowers. Ken tries to sleep through the entire day. Undyne explores the arena. Virgil scares Shulk off. Arthur is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Eliwood and Hector hunt for other tributes. That makes a lot of sense. Zero stalks Kale. Edelgard repeatedly stabs Yukari to death with sighs. Damn. Akechi diverts Oliver's attention and runs away. Pit receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Kratos travels the high ground. Rivali, Ellie, and Thor get into a fight. Rivali triumphantly kills them both. Rivali is strong enough to kill a god. Wacky. Demo searches for a water source. Mozu begs Takumi to kill her. He refuses, keeping Mozu alive. Hinoka explores the arena. Mifa goes hunting. Nia makes a slingshot. Pyro and Trailblazer hunt for the tributes. Cloud and Winkle track down and kill Ganyu. The archers hate each other for some reason. That's something. Dong Hung thinks about home. Richter practices his archery. Dark Pit travels to higher ground. Corrin hunts for the tributes. Clem receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. And Dante searches for a water source. How many deaths do we have day 1? 11. There was 48, so there's only 37 left. Clint or Hawkeye. Iron Valiant. Bandana Waddle Dee. March 7th. Waterblight Ganon. Dimitri. Link. Yukari. Ellie. Thor and Ganyu. I guess. I mean, looking from this much, the archers took a hit. Along with the spear users. Camilla Mozu huddle for warmth. Virgil's unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. I'm going to be popping off if Virgil lives longer. Like, I did a video with some people. Like, I recorded it. Unfortunately, the video got corrupted and I lost the footage. But Virgil managed to get second place in that one. So I'm hoping a similar outcome works here. Because he hasn't picked up a shovel yet. As long as he avoids that shovel, he should be fine. Kale attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Nia and Pyro hold hands. Clem is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Mifa, Kratos, and Trailblazers discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Edelgard fends Undyne, Cord, and Ike away from her fire. Shulk and Richter run into each other inside the truce for the night. Labyrinth receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Probably the investigation team. I'm not gonna lie. Dante receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Devil May Cry. Got his back. Takumi, Escavalier, Ken, Demoman, and Pit sleep in shifts. Akechi lets Dark Pit into a shelter. They're both edgy. Makes sense. Hinoka, Arthur, Simon, Zero, and Ravelli sleep in shifts. Winkle tends to her wounds. Oliver lets Claude into his shelter. Claude receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Hector loses sight where he is. Elliewood questions his sanity, and Dong Heng looks at the night sky. A relatively tame day, to say the least. Winkle receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Escavalier runs away from Zero. Corrin scares Labyrinth off. Ravelli chases Kratos. Nia, Takumi, and Oliver hunt for the tributes. Pyro, Shulk, and Mozu hunt for the tributes. Richter, Arthur, and Claude hunt for the tributes. Simon makes a wooden spear, which is not your weapon class, buddy, but I respect the effort. Donghan and Ken split up for resources. Hector hunts for other tributes. Akechi throws a knife into Elliewood's chest. That's upsetting because the Hunger Games that the voter chip corrupted, Elliewood won, so that's upsetting. Dark Pit and Pit fishes. Claude receives an explosive. Another one. Hinoka travels to higher ground. Demo receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. That's probably from Manco, if I have to be honest. Undyne constructs a shack. Virgil scares Mifa off. Dante receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Ike receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Kale goes hunting. Clem steals from Trailblazer when she isn't looking. And Edelgard and Camilla split up for search for resources. The Axe women are doing that together. Elliewood is the only one that died this round. So, let's proceed. Nia lets Labyrinth into her shelter. Hector tries to treat his infection. Pyro receives an explosive. Edelgard, Takumi, and Arthur cheerfully sing songs together. It's such a weird combination of people. Ken cooks his food before putting out his fire. Oliver tanks Corrin's food, killing her. I think Ollie is going to be the main kill lead during this, if I have to say anyone. That's my guess. Hinoka, Undyne, Escavalier, Virgil, and Richter sleep in shifts. 3 spears, keeping a sword and an axe. Makes sense. Akechi looks at the night sky. Like, he doesn't feel bad. Like, I think he killed someone last round, but he doesn't care. Kratos screams for help. Clem dies from an infection. And nobody said a thing. Mifa thinks about winning. Demo defeats Cloud in a fight but spares his life. Kale and Trailblazer tell stories about themselves to each other. Pit and Ike hold hands. Simon receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Dark Pit is woken by nightmares. Shulk questions his sanity. Ravelli tries to sing himself to sleep. Claude and Camilla tell stories about themselves to each other, how they both ride wyverns. Zero stabs Dong Heng with a tree branch. Mozu is woken by nightmares. Winkle starts a fire. Dante dies from an infection. That was not a jackpot moment. Day 3. Ken is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Dirtpig's trap killed Richter. Damn, that's the weapon triangle in effect. He probably put a sword down there. An axe couldn't beat it. Oliver scares Takumi off. Excavalier makes a wooded spear. Undyne picks flowers. Pit is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Shulk defeats Virgil in a fight, but spares his life. They're both Shulk's feeling it. Virgil got motivated. They both saw similar footing right there. I'm not having people to bounce off this time around. If my jokes come off as stale, they come off as stale. I'm not going to try to be funny here. I'll try to string across a narrative if I find one. But like, I'm hoping Virgil's winning here. It's Virgil. He's probably like one of my favorite characters in media. Arthur searches for firewood. Ike questions his sanity. Cully dies from an infection. God, that was the person I was rooting for next if Virgil went down. That's unfortunate. Liberace questions for sanity. Zero goes hunting. Hinoka, Rivali, Mozu, and Trailblazer hunt for the tributes. Simon, Hector, Nia, Demo, and Mifa. And Demo raid Mitha's camp while she's hunting. Wow, an entire legion of AXES jumped the one spear user. That's so canon for Fire Emblem. Holy shit. Akechi defeats Edelgar in a fight but spares her life. Winkle questions her sanity. Cloud collects fruit from a tree. Kratos throws a knife into Camilla's head. Weapon triangle be damned. Because that's happening, but in Fates, knives are weak to axes, and Camilla got jumped. And that's just funny to me. Claude questions his sanity, and Pyro is pricked by thorns while picking berries. 7 cannon shots can be heard. Corin, Clem, Dong Hung, Dante, Richter, Kale, and Camilla. It was in perfect damn near perfect alphabetical order. And these two had to fuck it up, yeah. I think it's about time to see. Swords are doing relatively well for themselves, along with spears. I mean, spears are doing well. They still have a whole district alive. Axes could be doing better. And archers are doing the worst. They kept team killing. Which wasn't the smartest idea for them. But spears are in the lead with team. Actually, no, they're actually tied with axes. Now I'm looking at it, they're tied. Eight 876 or 7886. Mozu accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. She's from the country, was expecting that. Takumi tries to sing himself to sleep. Ike thinks about winning. Pit defeats S-Cavalier in a fight but spares his life. Akechi tends to Winkle's wounds. Labrys receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Cloud climbs a tree to rest. Rivali and Kratos huddles for warmth. Simon thinks about winning. Ken begs for Arthur to kill him. He refuses, keeping Ken alive. Undead and Trailblazer talk about the tribute still alive, which they're part of the same team. Makes sense. Dark Pit looks at the night sky. Pyro stays awake all night. Edelgard convinces Demo to snuggle with her. Okay. Zero and Hinoka fight Claude and Virgil. Zero and Hinoka survive. Well, if Weapon Triangle has to say anything, Hinoka beat Virgil while Claude was trying to get an aim at Hinoka. Zero took him out. But, damn. I think I'll find someone else to root for, which, it's probably going to be Mifa. Oliver sets up camp for the night. Mifa defeats Hector in a fight but spares his life. And Nia spears Shulk in the abdomen. Damn. S-Cavalier discovers a river. Ken searches for firewood. Pit overpowers Demo, killing him. Holy shit. Dark Pit goes hunting. Akechi receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Nia overpowers Pyro, killing him. Damn. Both TF2 guys got overpowered by tiny people. Wacky. Winkle scares Cloud off. Mifa steals from Hinoka while she isn't looking. Zero camouflages himself in the bush. Rivali searches for a water source. Ike poisons Edelgard's drink. She drinks it and dies. So, AXES fighting AXES again makes... Kratos thinks about home. Undyne scares Liberus off. Simon travels to higher ground. Arthur receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Trailblazer kills Hector with a sickle. That is a Fire Emblem weapon that is called the Crescent Sickle, I believe. Hector got critted by Trailblazer. Makes sense. Oliver hunts for the tributes, and Takumi receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. 8 can shots can be heard. Mozu, Claude, Virgil, rest in peace, buddy, Shulk, Demo Man, Pyro, Edelgard, and Hector. Right now, Swords have 5 people. Lances having 7 people. Axes having 4 people. And Archers having 4 people. So 5, 7, 4, 4. But Rivali and Green Arrow and the no, Hinoka and Zero have the most kills so far. So it's a tie between District 1, well, the first 3 districts and the second 3 districts, I think. Let's proceed. Dark Pit defeats Arthur in a fight but spares his life. Escavalier tries to treat his infection. Hinoka thinks about winning. Claude receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Kratos defeats Linko in a fight but spares her life. Zero destroys Takumi supplies while he's sleeping. Ken tends to Oliver's wounds. Nia and Rivali run into each other and decide the truce for the night. Undyne and Mipha sleep in shifts. Pitt and Simon fight Liberus and Akechi. Pitt and Simon survive. I don't have to say Liberus' name anymore, which is really good. Trailblazer's unable to start a fire, and so she sleeps without warmth, and I couldn't start a fire. He was really unsuccessful. Also, we lose Akechi, which is kind of upsetting. Undyne runs away from Ken. Linkle overhears Oliver and Mipha talking in the distance. Escavalier repeatedly stabs Dark Pit to death with sighs. Rivali is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Ike fishes. Pit camouflages himself in a bush. Takumi scares off the Trailblazer. Zero steals from Kratos when he isn't looking. Simon makes a wooden spear. Nia goes hunting. Arthur injures himself. Cloud searches for firewood, and Hinoka questions her sanity. I think it's only 3 people died. Yeah, Liberus, Akechi, and Dark Pit. We haven't had an event. Takumi accidentally steps on a landmine. So he had his Fujiyumi equipped. He tried to walk over some water. He didn't realize on the other side there was a landmine, so he stepped on it. Also, yes, the Fujiyumi makes this man Jesus Christ. Who would have thunk it? Pitt sets up camp for the night. Trailblazer thinks about winning. Zero goes to sleep. Kratos, Simon, and Arthur discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Linko tries to treat her infection. Oliver receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Hinoka goes to sleep. Ike sets up camp for the night. Rivali, Mipha, Undyne, Nia, and Cloud all track down to kill Escavalier. And Ken goes to sleep. Holy shit. Day 6. Linkle discovers a river. Simon attacks Ken, but he manages to escape. Mipha scares Olive off. Undyne practices her archery. She's using her spears as the arrows. Trailblazer thinks about home. Arthur attacks Hinoka, but Rivali protects her, killing Arthur. Pitt stalks Zero. Cloth searches for firewood. Nia makes a slingshot, and Kratos begs Ike to kill him. He refuses, keeping Kratos alive. In an arena event, Linkle falls to the ground but kicks Simon hard enough to push him into a fighter. Undyne survives. Cloud falls to the ground and kicks Hinoka hard enough to push her into the fire. Trailblazer and Ike fail to find a safe spot and suffocate. Rivali, Kratos, and Ken all survive. Nia falls to the ground but kicks Pit hard enough to push him into the fire. Zero survives. Mipha kills Ollie in order to utilize a body of water safely. 9 cannon shots can be heard. Takumi, Escavalier, Arthur, Simon, Hinoka, Trailblazer, Ike, Pit, and Oliver. 3 characters for Sword with Cloud and Zero with 3 kills. Only 3 people left in District 4 with Mipha having the most kills in that section. Nia is the only one for AXES with 4 kills. And Rivali and Linkle be the only ones for archers with Rivali having 4 kills. So it's 3, 1, 2. My money's on swords or lances, in all honesty. Just looking at the odds. I want Nia to die, in all honesty. Cloud receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Mipha kills Kratos while he's sleeping. Tiny Fish Lady killing Kratos makes sense. Linkle screams for help. Rivali and Ken run into each other and decide the truce for the night. Undyne Nia sleeps in shifts. Zero questions his sanity. Okay. Hey, I got my wish! Mipha and Zero hunt for other tributes. Linkle, Nia, Undyne, and Ken form a suicide pact, killing themselves. I don't have to wait for Nia to die anymore, at the very least. Cloud tries to sing himself to sleep, and Rivali questions sanity. So, it's 2 swords, 1 lance, and 1 bow. Honestly, Mipha or Zero? Honestly, kind of excited to see who would win between those 2. Mipha starts a fire. Rivali attempts to start a fire, but is unsuccessful. Cloud attends to his wounds. Zero receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Cloud and Zero threaten a double suicide. It fails and they die, and Mipha silently snaps Rivali's neck. With 3 cannon shots can be heard. Cloud, Zero, and Rivali. With Mipha winning. Hold on, I didn't take a good one. And we have the thumbnail right there, potentially, if I don't find anything else funny. The kill leaders were Mipha, Rivali, Nia, and that's actually it. Those are the kill leaders. I feel bad for some of these people, in all honesty. Like, some of them didn't deserve what they got. I wanted to do this theme just because I thought it would be funny. Yeah. Nabrichi turn 1 killing himself was not what I was expecting. Without the people in here cracking jokes, this is now a 30-minute video. So, I'd like to thank y'all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If people do watch this video, I just want to say thank you for watching this. Like, this channel has been around for a couple years now. Very much so unactive. And I made a promise to people saying I would restart as soon as I got further in my life. And here we are, further my life with for it just kind of be a place everywhere. So, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.